Hello lovelies and welcome to my video for today. So I'm working on an art journal page in my Dina Wakely media journal. I haven't used this in a while, so I thought I'd give it a go. I have a fair few different journals, so I like to mix it up now and then. I have put some gesso down because I did want to remove some paint from my background, and I know that the best way to do this is to have gesso in the background. I don't tend to gesso much, pretty much at all, only when I want to do this technique, so you'll see in a minute. I'm starting with my favourite colour of all time, which is the Dylusions Cherry Pie, and then because I like to mix up my colour palette and my pages a bit, I've come in with some Balmy Night, and I have to admit, this is a really nice colour palette. I really enjoyed it, and as a bonus, when you mix the Balmy Night with the Cherry Pie, you get sort of like a dark purple. It was really quite nice. And then I went in with a little bit of gesso just to add some highlights to my page, just in a few areas. Now, I did know that I was going to cover up a big section of this page with some black paint. So I'm coming in with some of my favourite mark making stamps from Scrap FX just to build up my background. That's all I'm doing. Actually, most of this gets covered up. The only thing you end up seeing is like one of those little purple circles. It's really quite funny. But I like the process. Sometimes I want to apply paint with a paintbrush. I want to just go to town with some stamps. I want to play with paint pens. Sometimes it's more about the process. I don't really, care what ends up on the page. I just want to play. But this is what I wanted to do. This is my favourite Scrap FX stencil. I love this stencil. And I really wanted to have my background peek through a black area. So I love bright colours when you mix them with black. I love the pop of the bright through the black. So I knew I wanted to use this stencil to remove an area of black paint. It works all right. I think it would probably work better with white, but I really wanted to do it with the black. So this is my favourite stencil, as I mentioned. That is probably the only part of my background you get to see, but, it's more about the process for me. So I'm using a white Posca paint pen. I love my paint pens, and being able to use them is just, mark making is fun for me. So I traced around the shawl stencil with the paint pen, and then I was looking for a thinner one to do the lines on the inside. Couldn't really find one, so in the end I decided to use the same paint pen just to bring in some more white for starters and just to highlight that stencil a little bit. Again, it's just all about play. I just wanted to play today and just make some marks. I love this rice paper. This is the Queen's rice paper, and it's got two beautiful images and of female faces, and then it's got this crown, and I love this crown, and I really wanted to use it. The only thing is, when I applied it to my page, now some people, when you put matte medium down underneath and then on top, it's supposed to make it so that the white of the tissue paper sort of just blends into your background. For some reason, that didn't quite happen for me today. I will figure out what happened. But so when I've just cut it out very messily, that's not even a word, but you know what I mean. You can see a lot of that white behind it. If I had have cut it out a bit better, it probably would have looked a little better. But I thought I could go back in with, again, another paint pen and just try and thicken up those lines a bit, mess it up, grunge it up, and, sort of take the focus away from the fact that, there's bits of white around my image. In the end, doesn't bother me. Like I said, it's an art journal. It's all about the process for me. I just like to play. And I also found that by drawing over the image, it sort of makes it look more my own, if that makes sense. If you ever want, I can't draw faces very well, but if you were to use a rice paper image or a collage paper image, you could very well then come back in with your own pen or a texter or a paint pen or something and go over those lines and make it look more hand-drawn. So there's always that to think of as well. But while I was rambling on, I've just used a quote from the Dylusions back chat because I just thought they were really cool. And I was looking for one because I knew there was one about a crown, but I couldn't find it. But in the end, I went with this one. Then I've just used a white uniball pen just to go around my quote, and that's it for this video. So that was a nice quick video and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching and I'll be back real soon. Bye for now.